In this final segment, we're going to revisit reinforcement schedules. So again, I mentioned during the terminology section what reinforcement schedules are and the basic premise for manipulating reinforcement schedules. But once again in this segment you'll see, initially when we're teaching the dog, we are in what we call continuous reinforcement. I mean, I'm reinforcing every single repetition. As the dog starts to understand, I'm going to go on to a variable and random reinforcement schedule. So I won't reinforce every one. I'll reinforce one, skip one, reinforce the next one, skip three, reinforce three in a row, etc., etc. This strengthens the behavior. Variable and random reinforcement makes behaviors more persistent. Meaning, if I were to reinforce my dog every time for a behavior, continuous reinforcement, and then one day stop reinforcing them, that behavior would go away eventually. How long the dog continues to perform that behavior is wildly dependent on the dog and how long they've been on continuous reinforcement, their motivation, etc. But the dog will eventually stop doing this behavior. We call this extinction, meaning the behavior would go extinct. A behavior that is on continuous reinforcement goes extinct or goes away faster than a behavior that is on variable or random reinforcement. But if I go to variable or random reinforcement too quickly, I reduce what we call the rate of reinforcement, the frequency of rewards, my dog can lose motivation and I can lose my dog's attention. So we're constantly playing with manipulating these reinforcement schedules and the rate of reinforcement. So again, the reinforcement schedule is how frequently I reward a given behavior, every one, or a variable randomly. And then rate of reinforcement is how the amount of time between reinforcements or between rewards. And in the early stages, we tend to have to give a much higher rate of reinforcement so your dog doesn't check out. We don't lose engagement. But as your dog gets better and more motivated and more focused, we can go longer times in between rewards without losing the dog's attention.